All right, guys, here again is the 3 types of rifle magazines that you're going to have available to you. This is the only one that will go in the AR-15. The other 2 go in the Ruger 1022, the wooden rifle, the black rifles and the wooden rifle. So if you're going to use the black rifle, you're going to want this magazine. And remember, you've got your little thumb stud on both sides. You can pull down on that, and then that shows you that V-shaped notch we talked about before. You're going to put the base of your bullet in that V-shaped notch, and then just drop your bullet in and see how it slid right in. You do generally want to keep your magazines pointed up in the air when you're doing this, and just drop your 10 rounds in. Once you've got your 10 rounds in, you let the thumb stud go, and then you load the magazine into the rifle, let the bolt go forward, it loads the cartridge into the chamber, and you shoot. Okay, so I'm going to take that pressure off of that and let those rounds dump in there. So let's look at these other 2. All right, if you want to use this one, all right, I want you to see right there, there's a kind of a notch right here. All right, think of that as your V-shaped notch. Okay, that's where you're going to put the base of that cartridge in. So it has to go in right through there. All right, if you try to push it in too soon or wait too late, it's not going to work. So it has to go right in there. So push down and back, just like that. So push down and back to fill that magazine up. All right, now it works the same way on the little square mags, or little cubicle type magazine. So you still have that little notchy thing we were talking about before right there. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to push down, back, down and back, down, back. Okay, and these magazines, either one of these 2 types of magazines hold 10 rounds. Okay, I know they both look funny, and this one looks way bigger, but it still is just a 10-round magazine. Both of these are 10 rounds. The AR magazine holds 25 rounds. Okay, but you're still only going to put 10 in it, because that's all you're going to need in here for this class, 10 rounds at a time. So, yeah. So great, we got these 2 different kinds of magazines here. Why would we choose one over the other? All right, I showed you out there with the sling earlier how using this flat square cubicle type magazine made the profile of the rifle flush on the bottom, and so when you're in various positions, you may want to get your hand back really far on the rifle, and it allows you a more stable position because you can have your hand under the magazine like that, and it doesn't interfere with anything. Whereas if you've got this kind of magazine, you can't get your hand under it, and your hand winds up binding on it. Okay, and what that'll wind up doing is causing you a jam. If you've got your hand binding on this magazine, a lot of times it'll cause the magazine to kind of twist in the rifle, and it'll cause you to malfunction. And sometimes that'll even happen with the AR style. Okay, so just be careful when you've got your hands on the magazine that you're not causing it to bind. Now, so why would I even bother with this one then? All right, the deal with this magazine is it's quicker to get out of the rifle. Now, for some of the courses of fire, it's not going to matter to you one way or another. That NRA course of fire that we're going to be shooting initially, there's no time to it. But when we get to shooting the AQT, and you guys should all be reading this, the Army's AQT, the Army Qualification Target or Test, okay? This one, there's a time standard on this one. And part of the time standard on this one involves a reload. Well, getting that magazine out of the rifle in a hurry helps you on a reload. Okay, so you're going to want something to grab a hold of. So that may be the magazine you want to use as your first magazine, and this one as your second. But this one also gives you something to hang on to put back in the rifle. So it all comes down to what you're comfortable with. And the only way you're going to be comfortable with any of it is practice. Okay, so I don't want you worrying about this one at all at first, but that's why there's a difference and why you might want one or the other. Don't worry about this. By the time you get done with this one, the light rifle qualification, you will be way more confident and comfortable with this. Okay, so just put all your focus on this, no time standard. We're just going to be thinking about shooting these targets and making good scores for this. And when we get done with that, then we'll talk about the AQT. You may not do the AQT until you come in here for advanced level 2, so don't sweat it. All right, see you guys in class.